Okay. Right. Hello. So now we've got the reveal of Cobb Vanth as the aka the Marshal as the next Conquest unit. He of course they've data mined the feats that will be there. So last night I went and went through and made teams and strategies for this. So here we go. I will say I'm sorry if you can hear my laptop fan. I don't know why. It's really loud today. Maybe I need to clean it. If it is in there, I'll try and see if I can get rid of it in the edit. But if I can't, sorry. So let's go through what we have for the global feats. So we have the normal defeat 250 enemies on the gold challenge path. That's in every conquest, and there's not much strategy with that. It's literally just pick the teams that are on the golden challenge path and beat them. Gain foresight 200 times, which sounds like a lot, but there are several ways of getting foresight. Win 20 battles with a Sarge Venturer's Dark Disciple in your squad. Good thing is she doesn't have to survive, so you can basically throw her into any team. Attempt to inflict tenacity down 70 times. Now this one, I do have a team of for spamming tenacity down whilst doing other feats. However, if you didn't want to do this, this is pretty easy to do if you take your CLS team up against I was going to say a Grievous team, but any team that has a Droidica. If you kill everyone else off, wait for Droidica to get into damage immunity, and then throw an auto basic, then Chewbacca will be applying the tenacity down, and with you'll remove turn meter from Droidica, so it won't ever take a turn, and then you can either just wait until the end of battle, or if you think you've got it, just buff dispel it and kill it and win. So, but I do have a team for doing it while you do other feats, and so you don't have to use an entire battle just for doing one feat. The next feat is really going to screw you if you don't have any pirates. Win 20 battles with a full squad of pirates. Yeah, so if you don't have Maz or Pirate King Hondo, probably not going to be too good. If you've Relict, Ithano, Quiggold, Kix, and then throw in, say, Nest and Hondo, might be able to do it. But I think this is going to be one that a lot of people won't be able to do, which really sucks that they've put it on this one. Attempt to inflict Purge 300 times. That sounds bad. I think it'll be quicker than you would expect. If you have Grand Inquisitor or Reaver, obviously it'll be pretty easy. But even without them, you should be able to do it. Just if you have the Anniversary Lightspeed tokens that give you all the Marquee Inquisitors at Gear 13 and all their Zetas, you should be able to do this one. So don't think you need Third Sister or Grand Inquisitor to do it. So looking at it, Sarge, Dark Disciple, I'm probably going to try and do this in a Jabba team, because obviously if she does die, then your star rating goes down, which would kind of suck. But if you've invested in both Django and Ventress, obviously just throw them in with Fennec Shand and 2 other bounty hunters. It doesn't really matter who, you should be fine. But yeah, it doesn't have to be Jabba. You can do the JML trick, but she doesn't have to survive, so I think just plug her into any team, to be honest. Although there is one sector that has winning with a full squad of bounty hunters, so I'd wait for that if I were you. Then next up, Purge, obviously just Inquisitors. I've got Marek in here instead of Fifth Brother, because there's a feat with ability block, and he deals an ability block on his AoE. Yeah, if he has 20... Oh, if he has 24 stacks of... yes, actually, he needs to have 20 or more stacks of Soldier of Fortune, so maybe he won't actually be that helpful. So, yeah, probably don't use Marek, use a different Inquisitor. Then Pirates, obviously, I don't have Hondo, so be Maz Kanata. And specifically Sector 3, I've listed it because there is a feat for profit in Sector 3, but also there is a Sector 1 feat with Silver and Vein, so if you have Hondo, do it in Sector 1. And then the Foresight and Tenacity down, I've got the Tenacity down here, CLS applies it, Rex does an AoE with it, Chewbacca is on his basic, and Padawan Obi-Wan, if you have his Omicron, you can get it. I would highly recommend this Omicron. It is really good. And then here, Foresight, Tenacity down. Foresight comes from Master Qui-Gon and Yoda. Tenacity down, obviously, from Obi-Wan. And I've got Cobb here for a specific reason that you will get in a minute. So that is what I have for the global feats. So, moving on to Sector 1. We have win 10 battles with Captain Silvo and Vane surviving. Win 10 battles with Coruscant Underworld Police surviving. Attempt to inflict buff disruption 30 times. And take 50 bonus turns. The mini-boss and boss ones, just not much to them, pretty self-explanatory, so I'd never go over those. So, Sector 1, yeah, the survive feat, obviously, like I said, if you have Silver and Vane, just throw them in a pirate team. Should be pretty easy. If not, do this with the JML trick. Bonus turns, I really like doing Great Mothers versus Gas, because Great Mother's going to get 2 bonus turns from at the start, and then if you constantly doom Gas, it will remove his protection, so he'll go down, but when he goes down, it removes all status effects, so he'll gain his protection again, and he'll come back up, but because now there's no one doomed, Great Mother's going to take another bonus turn, so it's like a perpetually getting bonus turns. So, highly recommend that, obviously, if you have Great Mothers. Or if you can find a gas team. Sometimes you can't. So, it really sucks. If not, I would say throwing something together like Wat Tambor, Han Solo, Jedi Knight Anakin, basically just anyone who has bonus turns. Like Cat as well. And then obviously with you have the Foresight, Tenacity down, and Cup surviving. So I've put in a Queen Amidala team. You can do JMK. You can do Padme. I mean, just with Cup surviving, you can do with the JML trick again. But I've got Cup relicked. I did get the Lightspeed bundle that took him to Relic 9. So do that. And then the buff disruption one might be one that you skip, because Stormtrooper Luke is the only character who has buff disruption. It is thankfully on his basic, so it's not on a special, but yeah, I still might try to do this. You've got Captain Rex, AoE Tenacity down, and I guess, Stormtrooper Luke with buff disruption. But you might want to skip that one. It is only 5 key cards, so you might be able to skip it. But trying to get Stormtrooper Luke to inflict it 30 times is kind of mental. Moving on to Sector 2. We have evade at least 100 attacks in battles you won, attempt to stun enemies 50 times, gain stealth 60 times, and win 10 battles with Fallen Monsuckers surviving. that one makes a return, but it was on a different sector. So, the stun, yeah, I've gone Jedi Master Luke. Jedi Luke has an AoE stun, Ezra Bridger, Exile has a stun, Jedi Cal has a stun, Padawan Obi-Wan has all the other debuffs for global feats. So, yeah, it's obviously not the only way you can do stuns. You could also do it with, say, Tuskens, but I mean, that would rely you to go on against a turn meter heavy team. But if you can, like, I don't think it's going to be a bad way to do it. But this is probably what I'm going to do. Or at least some of this, I think mainly just Jedi Knight Luke, you know? Having an AoE stun. There's probably others that are better. So if, if you think there is a better team, let me know, because and then stealth, I've put 2 down here. You've got Leia, because she's really good in Conquest. I use her all the time. You've got, well, it's not technically an AoE stealth. You have 4 people stealth with R2, 3PO stealths himself, and Princess Leia obviously stealths on her special. But what I'm probably going to do is try Bad Batch 2. You could probably do this with the original Bad Batch as well, but I just feel like it feels like this team gets more stealth. Maybe it doesn't, but it does feel like it. But obviously, if you don't have these, regular Bad Batch will do, or if you don't have Leia, you could probably do a similar thing with CLS. And then Fallen Mazakas, obviously, JML. And then the evade feat, I absolutely hate. You could do this in combination with the Foresight feat, which I actually might do. I will actually move this one to Sector 2 as well. The Queen Amidala one. Gaining Foresight. And obviously with the evasion, but this one would work as well, because under Race Liege you ramp up everyone's mastery pretty quickly, by quite a lot, and all of these characters that I've put on here have deflection and dodge as a mastery. Yes, Cup even has it. So yeah, that's what I normally do with the evade ones, but given there is a global feat for Foresight, you might be better off doing that here. So, moving on to Sector 3, we have attempt to inflict buff immunity 40 times, win 10 battles with no tanks, gain profit 50 times with pirates, and win 10 battles with Satil Shan surviving. Obviously, if you did not get Red Crate and unlock Satil last Conquest, you can't do. You're automatically down 10 keycards. So obviously, pirates, profit. That's just the same team. Probably won't take you that long to get profit, to be fair, if you have like a Maskanata team, or Hondo, of course. And then still surviving, I'll probably do this. I am trying to gear her up, because she seems to be really good. However, all of my raid currency went into gearing the Stranger, because I unlocked them both. So, especially while she's only gear 12, JML trick is what's going to work for me. If you have her fully relicked, obviously just use her in her Old Republic team. If you only have her at gear 1, I would say at least give her a little bit of something. But just use the JML trick, go up against a team that doesn't have any AoEs, if you can, and it should be fine. Also, these survive feats would get a lot easier if you have the Weather the Storm data disc. Because it only came in when with Satile. Out of the 3 conquests, I did get it twice, and it made it so much easier. Basically, what it does is it stops allies being damaged or defeated before they take a turn. So, if you're struggling with the survive feats and they're low gear, like strip mods off them, and hopefully you'll kill them before that. It works really well with Zealous Ambition, although I don't know if Weather the Storm data disc is going to be in this one, but I thought I'd mention it just in case. And then the no tank one, Queen Amidala actually counts, even though she summons a tank, it doesn't count. This is what I normally do with the tank one. Although I think with Satile's one, I did jabber like full bounty hunters without Chrysanthemum, just because there was a lot of win 20 battles with bounty hunters, and there were 2 sectors that had the no tanks, so that's what I did. But yeah, you can get this done, not just... Although, I have put Cup here, although that was only in Sector 1, so actually ignore that. I don't really know why I kept Cup in the team. I think I did that, like, if I have Queen Amidala listed in Sectors 4 and 5, I've probably thrown Cup into the team. Obviously, you don't need to do that. Buff immunity you get with Padawan Obi-Wan, if you have his Omicron. I will actually edit this, take out Cup, and then Jedi Knight Anakin has it on his basic, so that'll probably be a better one to do. And then Yoda obviously for the foresight. There's probably other ways you can get buff immunity, but for me, because I'm going to be using Queen Amidala, I've got the Padawan Obi-Wan Omicron, I'm probably going to get that feat anyway. Now, let's move on to Sector 4. We have defeat 50 enemies with droids, again, that's the return. Win 10 battles with Inquisitor Barriss surviving, defeat 40 enemies with bounty hunters, and gain potency up 50 times. So, bounty hunter kills, this might be a good place to get the Ventress feat. So that's probably what I'm going to try and do. Inquisitor Barriss, just put her on a... Yeah, I've got American here again. I think what I thought it was if they had a certain number of purge, he inflicted ability block. But he doesn't, although I don't think it doesn't really matter. Just an Inquisitor team with Barriss, or do the JML thing. Droid kills, I will probably try to do this with Afra. You could do it with Shorty, or you could do it with JML. If you bring in, say, R2 or just any light side droid, and you call them to assist with JML's granted ability, and you get the kills, it will count as the droid getting the kills. So I think either of those works. I guess also you could do it with Imperial Troopers if you get the kill with Dark Trooper. Potency up, again, same thing, like Padawan Obi-Wan is going to grant potency up, and then Yoda can spread it. If you don't have the Omicron, if you just find... I actually should have looked up who has potency up. I don't think it's that many people. I know Tarkin has potency up, Afra has potency up. So if you get any characters like that, and then use Yoda to spread it, you should be getting like 10 at a time, which is pretty good. Then, moving on to Sector 5. We have inflict 300 damage over times enemies with an ability. Attempt to inflict fracture 40 times. Attempt to inflict ability block 50 times. Gain evasion up 60 times. This one, they had to put all the hard ones with the... well, apart from buff disruption, they had to put all the hard ones in the Sector 5 one. So, evasion up. There is a layer team, like Han grants it, and Biggs, I think, just gives it to himself. But I would say get the evasive technique data disc. It's really common normally, and you can do it. You can then do it while doing other feats, and you don't have to think about it. Then dots. The only way I think you can actually do this is with Tuscans. You can probably try doing it with Darth Vader, but that probably take a while. So I would say if you have Tuscans, use them. If not, try and do it with Vader. And then ability block. I'm going to skip over that Stranger Team, just go straight to ability block. If you have all of these characters, they all inflict ability block. Vader, he does it on his AoE when he's in Ultimate, but Veers and Grand Inquisitor have it in their AoEs. Third Sister has it on a basic, as does Darth Vader, but obviously, if you go into Master's Massacre, Vader can do it multiple times. So that's probably what I'll do to try and spam the ability block. Although, if you want to try and do it with Fracture, and you've got Spider Maul and Stranger, try it here. Cobb has ability block if he gets to 30 stacks of Persistent. Or what might be better is trying to do the Fracture in a layer team, because layer is the only one that has an AoE Fracture. And before you say Darth Vader's Jewel's End, yes, technically, but it's only on an Omicron. She's the only one with an AoE Fracture, and if you've got to try and do it 40 times, that is so unreasonable. I'd say probably skip that one. I'm gonna try and skip it, because that sounds like hell. Yeah, layer, you could get 5, but then also you have a pretty big chance of killing them off, which means they're just not going to apply the Fracture. And then even if you use Hate-Fueled Maul, he only has it once the entire battle, the first time he uses a basic on his turn. And then the only other ones that have it are General Syndulla and Thrawn on a special ability. And again, it's only a single Fracture, and it's okay. I don't think you're going to be able to reasonably do this one. I would definitely say skip Fracture if you can. So, yeah, that's it. If you have any other suggestions for teams that are a lot better than what I've come up with, let us know in the comments. Because if you work out a better way to do, say, Fracture or Buff Disruption, definitely let us know. Just help each other out. So, yeah, that's my suggestions for Cobb Vanth Conquest feats. Hopefully we'll be able to unlock him. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Bye bye.